Welcome to our Season 9 reunion. I'm the show's creator and your reunion host, Carlos King.
We have all been asking the same question for months. What's happening in Huntsville with love and marriage? The creator of the entire franchise, Carlos King, has remained quiet. Not even a teaser, no press, no updates. Frustrated and perplexed, fans have been left in the dark. The storylines aren't connecting as well as they once did, the cast appears dispersed, and the episodes feel erratic. Furthermore, rumors began to circulate. Will the program be canceled? Is the original cast no longer there? Why is Carlos silent?
I'm gonna keep it all the way real on this podcast today because I am Robin admitting that she hid her story from the world on the show that pays you is a slap in the face to everyone involved, including the audience. And the fact that you have the audacity to go on your podcast to reveal this. We spent this entire half-assed season with these made-up storylines about Chris Bassett. And yes, I'm gonna say made up because I allegedly was told that a few of the housewives had a meeting before filming about what the storyline was going to be, and that this Chris Bassett stuff was part of that conversation. I've always said there was something off about this season, and now I know what it is. None of y'all are living your real.
Carlos King just dropped a bombshell, so the wait is over. He finally clarified the ambiguity and the course of love and marriage Huntsville in a rare statement. And believe me when I say that it will rock the Huntsville universe to its foundation. Carlos stated unequivocally in a recent interview that change is imminent. The show is changing, he stated. There will be changes soon. That's more than just a statement from Carlos or someone similar. Those are powerful words. It suggests that Love and Marriage Huntsville's cast, structure, and perhaps even format may be changing. Carlos also alluded to the necessity for the show to represent the current stages of the cast members' lives. That is a significant hint. We've witnessed friendships tested, businesses flourish, marriages end, and health struggles over the years. Carlos is aware that the original dynamic that kept the show together might no longer be effective. He discussed maintaining authenticity and following the plot, which may entail eschewing forced drama and focusing on each cast member's actual stage of life. It's more about what's truly real than what the audience anticipates. That's a wise decision, particularly in light of the fact that so many reality shows struggle to recreate historical events. Carlos didn't stop there, though. In order to set up the next significant change that fans have been noticing cast changes, but how? He also mentioned opening the door to new stories. Things start to get really interesting at that point. First up is Melody Sharie. There has been increasing speculation that Melody might be leaving the show or at the very least making a significant comeback. She has been concentrating on establishing boundaries, developing her brand, and making music. It's obvious that she's in a different stage of life after everything she's been through with Martell. Her screen time has changed, as fans have noticed, and Carlos' remarks regarding the show's evolution might indicate that Melody is finding a way to move past the turmoil. She deserves that. Next up is Martell Holt. Martell appears to be far from done. In contrast to Melody, his continuous legal and co-parenting problems are the main reason why the tension around him hasn't decreased. Carlos made a suggestion that there was still more to be told about Martell, and that makes sense. He continues to be one of the most divisive characters on the show. He also keeps viewers talking whether they like it or not. The plot of Martell doesn't seem to be finished yet, whether it's redemption or more fallout. Then comes Kimmy Scott. Fans have come together to support Kimmy's strength, and her health journey has played a significant role in the recent seasons. But because of everything she's been through, her appearance on the show has become more somber and realistic. Carlos appears to appreciate that, and based on what he says, Kimmy's role could change from being in the center of the drama to more of a wise, supporting aspect of the program. Maurice Scott might be moving into a more prominent role. Although the Scott family has always played a central role in the show, tension has recently been building between siblings, as well as between couples. Carlos has made hints that Maurice may be given more responsibility and that this aspect of family dynamics may receive more attention. The tone of the Scott storylines might shift as a result. However, it goes beyond the Yogis. Carlos also alluded to the addition of fresh vitality. Carlos King made it apparent that Love and Marriage Huntsville is about to experience a new wave of energy, but he did not name any specific individuals. Fans are speculating about the true significance of that. The show needs a serious reset, someone commented. If they have genuine connections and aren't just there for photo ops, new faces could be beneficial. I just hope they don't bring in randoms with no ties to Huntsville, said another. Don't bother at all, or be honest. Let's discuss possible newcomers. Carlos expressed a desire to include new viewpoints and individuals who have a genuine connection to the current cast. This implies that we may see new couples or people who are already connected to the current cast members in real life, perhaps through friendships, business, or even unresolved drama from the past. Carlos repeatedly underlined the importance of authenticity in the dynamic, which this could help maintain. The main rumor is that former cast members will return. One name that frequently comes up in fan discussions is Destiny Payton. Her personal development seemed to have been interrupted when she left the show, and her plot with Martell and Melody was never fully resolved. Since she is supposedly in a different stage of life, bringing her back could not only rekindle old tensions, but also provide additional depth. Tisha Campbell could also be a surprise. Her name has been floated as someone who could provide a powerful presence to the franchise if Carlos is considering expansion or even special appearances, even though she isn't officially a former cast member. A well-known face like hers could appeal to a larger audience while still connecting with the show's themes of rebuilding, marriage, and fame. Carlos also stated his desire to investigate novel dynamics, which may result in viewers witnessing unanticipated coalitions. Imagine old rivals banding together or new characters entering the scene and upending established bonds. It will be difficult for the original cast to either change or fall behind if new energy is joining the mix. These new and returning faces are more than just filler, especially considering all the changes that have been hinted at. Carlos appears to be positioning them as more than just supporting characters for the upcoming chapter of the show. He is deliberately choosing who enters and why. For a show aiming to strike a balance between devoted viewers and a new direction, that is crucial. However, let's face it, Marriage and Love Huntsville is more about what goes on behind the scenes than it is about who appears on screen. Carlos clarified that not everything is flawless off camera, but he did not reveal all the behind-the-scenes details. He discussed how real-life conflict and creative tension can permeate production. This implies that the drama we witness on screen may not even come close to capturing what goes on behind the scenes. It also explains why some storylines have felt unresolved, as well as the delays and cast absences. Some of the cast members seem to be struggling to distinguish between reality TV and real life, and Carlos, the executive producer, is caught in the middle, attempting to tell the story without pushing anyone too far. He made a suggestion that some friendships might have already been shattered and that the whole situation would be revealed in later episodes. The tension has already been noted by fans, particularly between formerly close cast members. A change in the group dynamic is taking place, whether it is due to unresolved disagreements, court cases, or the testing of personal boundaries. Furthermore, Carlos's remarks imply that the upcoming season may focus more on revealing how terrible things have truly gotten than on mending those relationships. And there's the matter of control. Conflict with production may arise because some cast members want more control over how they are portrayed. Carlos said that not everyone agrees on how their story should be told, which is why he brought up striking a balance between respect and the truth. The important thing is that Carlos isn't giving up. He made it apparent that the show will continue to progress, even if it means firing characters who are no longer able to cope with reality. That's significant because it raises the possibility that Love and Marriage Huntsville will soon change significantly in appearance and atmosphere. Carlos also hinted that this show might be altering everything we believed it stood for. As if that weren't enough tea, Carlos King clarified that reality TV is changing in a recent interview. Chaos and shouting matches are no longer the only things going on. According to him, the emphasis should be on real-life development and demonstrating how individuals overcome obstacles in their lives, start businesses, and support their families under duress. For LAMH, which has frequently leaned toward explosive moments and intense conflict, that represents a significant change. Carlos wants to emphasize more than just drama, resilience. As requested by fans, this includes showcasing more of the cast's entrepreneurial journey. Melody's brand work, Kimmy's real estate endeavors, and Martell's business endeavors have all given us hints of this in the past. However, As time goes on, the business aspect may finally take center stage. Carlos gave us a hint that the stories that follow will focus on what it takes to create and preserve a legacy, particularly when the world is looking on. Additionally, family dynamics are expected to become more significant. The program might delve further into issues that viewers face on a daily basis, such as co-parenting, parenting difficulties, and generational relationships. And this is more than just entertainment for Carlos. He referred to it as essential storytelling and stated that reality TV has an obligation to depict reality rather than merely dramatize it. But hold on, does all of this imply marriage and love? As Huntsville truly ended, everyone is thinking about that. Carlos made a statement that has fans worried, but he didn't confirm anything. The show, as we know it, is over, he declared. There are numerous possible meanings for that. Is this merely the conclusion of the current format, or is he concluding the series entirely? Online, there has been discussion about a potential series finale. Many of the cast members are at pivotal moments in their lives, and they have experienced a lot. Kimmy concentrating on her health, Martell dealing with ongoing personal issues, and Melody taking a back seat. Perhaps the chapter is truly coming to an end. However, Carlos's wording also makes room for something fresh, perhaps a newer iteration of the program that tracks various couples in a different city, or takes a completely different approach to examining various facets of the same cast. Carlos has consistently stated that he views Love and Marriage as a franchise rather than a single program. In keeping with Carlos's remarks regarding less chaos and more growth, some fans are also conjecturing that the show might change into a docuseries series, stand with more uncut footage and real-life progression. Is this show coming to an end? Perhaps. However, Carlos' energy doesn't seem to be fading. If anything, it seems like he's stepping up, albeit not with the show we're accustomed to. One thing is certain, Carlos King isn't done creating waves, whether it's the end or a fresh start. What do you believe Love and Marriage Huntsville will do next? Leave a comment with your thoughts. I'll see you next.